With less than 15 days left to election, I've decided to create this informative video to answer some very important questions backed by video proof, proving that this election is more than just a race for the White House. It is a race for America's future. The questions I will be asking will be backed by video proof in order to debunk any accusations of speculations and to give you, the voter, a better idea of what it is that we're up against. Question number 1. Did Donald Trump call Alicia Machado Miss Piggy or any e-machine 15 or 20 years ago? And the answer is partial fact. Yes, Donald Trump did make some type of reference to Alicia Machado's weight because at the time she held the crown for Miss Universe. But we have to acknowledge that Alicia Machado no longer embodies the Miss Universe, being that now presently she is a hardcore pornography actress who was also implicated in an attempted murder with her drug lord husband, Juan Rodriguez Rigetti, in her native Venezuela. Did Donald Trump say that he liked to grab a vagina while he was having locker room talk with his associates and buddies? And the answer is yes. Donald Trump admitted to it and apologized. But the fact remains that not one woman had come forward to accuse Donald Trump of sexual molestation, as Anderson Cooper tried so slyly to imply during the second presidential debate. And it wasn't until after Anderson Cooper made that comment that all of a sudden 9 women come forward accusing Donald Trump of sexual molestation. 9 women whose friends and family members had said that these women had nothing against Donald Trump. If anything, they were fans of Donald Trump, which can easily lead us to conclude that most of these women suffer from a very complicated form of misandry. Is it true that America was horrified by Donald Trump's use of the word vagina? And if so, how did they protest? And the answer is very complicated, being that groups of pro-feminist women went out practically naked, showing off titties and screaming, F Trump. Fuck Donald Trump! Fuck Donald Trump! Fuck. Madonna offered to suck off anybody that voted for Hillary Clinton.
If you vote for Hillary Clinton, I will give you a blowjob. Okay? Straight on.
And Miley Cyrus is on Instagram showing titties for votes. I don't get it. Why is Donald Trump calling Hillary Clinton an enabler of Bill Clinton? Well, because it was Hillary Clinton who enabled Bill Clinton when he sexually assaulted and raped Juanita Broderick. It was also Hillary Clinton who enabled Bill Clinton when he groped without her consent Kathleen Wiley, and it was also Hillary Clinton who enabled Bill Clinton when he indecently exposed himself to Paula Jones and continued to sexually harass her until she filed a sexual harassment suit, which was of course settled out of court for $850,000, as long as she would drop the charges against Bill Clinton, or even then he would have faced perjury charges. Donald Trump says that Hillary Clinton says that he has absolutely no respect for women, yet it is Hillary Clinton who has used the term Bimbo Express to define the women who have had sexual relations and or affairs with Bill Clinton. Fact: Bill Clinton has had numerous adulterous affairs, including 12-year affair with Penthouse model Jennifer Flowers, an 18-year affair between 1974 and 1992 with Dolly Wiles, and should we mention Monica Lewinsky? Or should we mention Bobby Ann Williams, the mother of Old Billy's illegitimate black son, Danny Williams, who still today is struggling to get a paternity test from Bill Clinton? Donald Trump believes that the elections are rigged. Obama states that Donald Trump is whining before the election is won. Fact: Donald Trump is right and Obama is wrong. The fact remains that yes, there is proof that the elections are rigged. Just take a couple of minutes to check out these videos right here.
Here's some shocking new numbers for you, suggesting the true extent of voter fraud across this country. Remember, we've been told by Supreme Courts, by federal courts, by the Democratic Party, don't worry about those voter ID laws because there's not voter fraud. Well, a Pew Research report shows that 1 in 8 voter registrations are, quote, significantly inaccurate are no longer valid, suggesting further potentially some 18 million invalid voter registrations in this country, nearly 2 million dead people, that is, dead, are still listed as voters, and they've got friends who apparently keep them company come Election Day.
More than 1,000 illegal aliens found on voter rolls in the crucial battleground state of Virginia. A shocking new watchdog report exposing the voter fraud just weeks before the presidential election. There are now major concerns that illegal voters could sway the election, since the investigation only covered 8 of the state's 133 districts. According to Virginia law, it's a felony for illegals to vote. However, they're not required to show proof of citizenship when they register to vote.
Expanded to 9 now. Here with Sergeant John Perrine of State Police. Tell us a little bit about what you were doing out here today.
There's state police investigators right now are looking into allegations of voter fraud and forgery related to voter applications being submitted to the clerk's office.
Okay. And it's quite a bit, or a lot of different registrations here were affected by this, right?
Yeah, of course. You know, what's happening is potentially registration forms are being submitted that have false or fraudulent information on them. And right now we're just gathering evidence. This is a very complex investigation that's going to take a significant amount of time. And right now we're here today just gathering evidence and information so we can continue our investigation.
Okay, and some people's registrations could be at risk. What should people do to make sure there's not?
Yeah, if you're registered to vote, the deadline to correct any misinformation is October 11th. It's coming up next week. And people need to go to indianavoters.in.gov. Again, that's indianavoters.in.gov to ensure that their registration information is correct and has not been copied.
Donald Trump says that Russian President Putin is not our enemy and that if we were to ally with them, we could together beat ISIS. Fact. Even though the media put their own spin on it to make it look like Donald Trump and President Putin were conspiring together to take down not only Hillary but democracy, it was Hillary Clinton who resigned as Secretary of State because it was President Obama who was caught off the record on an open mic telling the Russian presidential advisor to tell his president to give him a little room till after the elections where he would be more flexible.
Tonight, ABC's Jake Tapper on what happened when the microphone was left on.
A hot microphone picked up a private presidential plea. President Obama knows well that the Russians are furious over U.S. plans to build a missile defense shield in Europe, and he wanted word to be sent to Vladimir Putin, asking for a little time to smooth things out.
This is my last election. Yeah, after my election, I have more flexibility. Yeah, I understand. I transmit this information to Vladimir and Senator.
Donald Trump said that Hillary Clinton cannot bring herself to say the words Islamic terrorism because Hillary Clinton is accepting hundreds of millions of dollars from Arab regimes who want her to bring in tens of thousands of unvetted Muslim refugees, the same countries that deny women equal rights and persecute members of the gay and lesbian community.
If you start with Saudi Arabia, okay, $25 million up to that amount to the Clinton Foundation, $10 million to the Clinton Library. Women can't drive. They need permission to work or travel. Marital rape not recognized. If you're gay or lesbian, punishable by death. No churches, no temples in Saudi Arabia. She takes their money. Go to Kuwait. Up to $10 million donated to the Clinton Foundation. Courts deny women the right to become public prosecutors and judges. No laws against domestic violence or rape. And if you're gay and you're involved in a homosexual act, well, that's illegal, and you can get 7 years in prison and a fine. If you go to the UAE, they donated up to $5 million to the Clinton Foundation. Men have the legal right to beat their wives with physical violence. Marital rape is not recognized. Same-sex marriage is illegal. All sex activity outside of marriage is illegal, and women are often punished severely for adultery. Then we go to Brunei. Money donated to the Clinton Foundation up to $5 million. Marital rape is not a crime, as the wife is not under the age of 13. And if you're gay, those acts are illegal, punishable by up to 10 years in prison, in some cases death. Qatar, $5 million up to that amount to the Clinton Foundation. Marital rape, not a crime. The law states that it's a woman's responsibility to obey her husband. And if you're gay and you commit gay acts, punishable by death. Oman, up to $5 million to the Clinton Foundation. A woman's consent is not required to legalize a marriage. Marital rape is not a crime. If you're gay, it's punishable by up to 6 months to 3 years in prison. Algeria gave up to $500,000 to the Clinton Foundation. Marital rape, not a crime. Married women under 18, they can't travel abroad without the permission of their husband. Homosexual activity is illegal, punishable by 2 months to 2 years in prison and a fine. And the Washington Post reports that many Middle Eastern countries donated over $1 million to the Clinton Foundation, as you can see up there on the screen. Now, I say all of this. She says she's the champion of women's rights and gay rights. And up until this week, she's never criticized the practices of these countries and took their money. How corrupt, is that hypocrisy in your view?
Hillary Clinton has been promoting the slogan, "Love Trumps Hate," while simultaneously her campaign pays protesters to incite violent riots within Trump rallies in order to deter American citizens from voting for Trump.
We have to have a central kind of agitator training.
Yeah.
Now we have a built-in group of people in New York who do this.
So I'm basically deputy rapid response director for the DNC for all things Trump on the ground. For the Chicago protest, when they shut all that was us.
So Steve and I did the Chicago Trump event when we shut down the light bulbs. Yeah.
All of a sudden I get something squirted in my eyes. And
Hillary Clinton supports late-term pregnancy. What that means is that a woman would have the right to abort a child up until 1 day before the actual due date. Fact. But what a lot of women don't know is that Planned Parenthood has been known for cashing in on baby parts. They're actually selling your little baby's parts. How do you feel about that, ladies? Yes, 10 million abortions conducted yearly. It's all a business. And guess what, ladies? You're all a part of it. Clinton's always talking about her experience, her 30 years of experience. So I'm going to give you a breakdown of the last 5 years that Hillary Clinton has been in politics. Let's start off at 2010, when Hillary Clinton made the decision to prematurely withdraw our troops from Iraq, which led to Al-Qaeda in Iraq evolving into what today is known as ISIS. In 2012, Hillary Clinton decided to put a hit out on Gaddafi, which ended up destabilizing that whole region. By September 11, 2013, Benghazi attack happened where we lost 5 American lives, including 1 ambassador. In 2013, Hillary Clinton resigned as Secretary of State after Obama was caught on an open mic pleading with a Russian presidential advisor, telling him to please give him some room until after the election where he would be more flexible. From 2013 to 2015, Hillary Clinton gave more than 92 speeches to special interest groups and corporations, including 8 to major banks and 3 private speeches to Goldman Sachs. Hillary Clinton earned more than $22.5 million in less than 2 years. She later reformed the Clinton Foundation and turned it into the Hillary, Bill, and Chelsea Clinton Foundation, where she has earned up to date more than $250 million. If that's not corruption, I don't know what is.